Here I am as an adult, and South Plains is giving me the opportunity to not only refine the tools that I need to be able to succeed, but actually succeed. I'll have to backtrack and go to Texas State. First 2 semesters did so well at Texas State. And then I had a girlfriend at the time, we dated for about 4 years. This whole terrible breakup happened. I was an emotional child then, and other things kind of compiled, and I started developing some terrible habits. So when I started realizing these bad habits were developing, I wanted to run away. So I was like, I need to go far. So I went to tech. So I did spend the semester, but I still had the terrible habits that I did, and that led to a downfall. And so once that happened, we're talking back-to-back semesters where I had full-on zeros. I was way too stubborn to withdraw before the withdrawal date, loans stacked up. And so that was about 4 years after that semester, 2012 at Tech, into summer of 2016, that I did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I lost all motivation, I lost all ambition. I was going to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was eating terribly, video games all day. I just did absolutely nothing. Shortly after, Levi Alamon, it was my best friend actually at the time. Unfortunately, he passed away in May of last year. He was someone who showed me again that I'm deserving of friends, I'm deserving of someone who believes in me. I one time had a question I presented to him, and I was like, when do you see me at my best? Or when do I feel like I'm the most filled? And what he answered was, whenever I'm teaching something that I know. And it was at that point that all these flashbacks from my childhood, in which I was tutoring at a younger age, and I was helping people with math at an early age, and there's plenty of stories that go with that, that it just became so obvious to me that perhaps I should chase teaching. And so, what do I want to teach? Something that comes naturally to me. What is that? Math and numbers. So, switched it all up, decided to come to South Plains, finish my 2 years here, move back to Tech as very much as I consider it to be unfinished business, and I plan on taking care of that.
He was a little bit skittish coming in to the classroom again, but that's where the teacher has to kick in and say, I'm willing to invest the time. Are you willing to run with it? And Ozzy Santos was willing to run with it. He studied diligently. He worked very hard.
I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Driver here at South Plains, and what an absolute inspiration he's become.
Fortunately, this past semester, this fall 2020, a grant came available where I was able to pick up a learning assistant, and I chose Ozzy to be my learning assistant. And I got to spend an hour a week just mentoring and talking life sometimes with Ozzy. And then a couple of hours a week he would spend observing one of my classes. And then about 3 hours a week we were able to hire him to help tutor some of my students along so that he could communicate some of his background to some students who might be struggling, and he could kind of figure out where they needed help, really connect with them.
The thing that I've come to realize that I think is unique to the community college experience is that there seems to be a lot of professors who really do, just like Dr. Driver, embody a love of teaching. That connection, which Dr. Driver always talks about, to actually make that connection with the student, that way the student feels that much more willing to give themselves to the class.
Just that desire for learning, that eagerness to want to be the best. He's going to be a great student when he launches out and goes to the university. I'm confident of that because his foundation is really well built, because he has taken the initiative to make sure everything is in place. So whoever invested their scholarship monies into that particular student has a great return on their investment.
I think in the past, whenever people had told me, whether it be, me being a minority or whatever I'm chasing in school when it comes down to my major, that I should apply for particular scholarships, it just always seemed to me like there were so many people that were applying for it, why should I get it? And then it just dawned on me that it's worth trying, and if it comes my way, it comes my way. And it was awarded to me, I feel like that's one more thing that I'm obliged to pay back in the way of committing myself to school.
When they get that scholarship, it's thank you for helping take some of that burden off, but also it's often a non-spoken thank you for investing in me because I want to show you what I can do.
Maybe they're like me, they have the story that they made their return. Maybe they're like me in the sense that they want to show people that you could come from a community college, you could be extremely successful in university, and you could have your dreams come true and whatever that may be. So I think the more donors that come around, the more students that actually get the benefits of that extra money and that are able to succeed in whatever way they can. There's a new chapter of my life that I've entered in coming back to school, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I've had so many doors open since coming to South Plains that, once again, I just feel like everything's just so perfect. There are times in which I feel like I'm undeserving of so much perfection. God, it's felt so good. Man, I have been filled. I'm so thankful.